Hi, thank you for having me today. I have chosen the topic about the asylum centers. I know a lot of Norwegians are aware of the situation in the asylum receptions for asylum seekers and what they have to feel, what they have to go through during their stay there. The waiting period and so on that they have to suffer from. So I wrote something. I hope it's going to be a little bit enlightening, and it's going to help you to understand some of the asylum process in Norway. Mentally tired, emotionally drained, sick of life, mentally tortured. These are common phrases that become part of my daily life. The day I'm not saying them loudly, I'm thinking them, or I'm seeing them written on my mother and sister faces. When I first arrived in Norway, it was the 23rd of December 2008. By the time we were allowed to be placed in an asylum reception and had some rest, the people in Tana were making glögg and giving away julekake. They were in a good mood, and everyone were excited to tell us what Jule means to Norwegian. I thought our days will be like. I thought the rest of our days will look like this in Norway. Especially that the next asylum reception we were placed in afterwards used to be a hotel on top of a mountain that's close to a ski center. It looked like a vacation to us. Then life started. We were transferred to an isolated village in the south of Norway. The village has only 1,200 people who live there according to Wikipedia. Mostly are older and like to keep it to themselves, which is nothing close to what I'm used to back in the United Arab Emirates. I used to live in a city. I've always been able to have a very busy social life. We had adapted ourselves to the surroundings. After all, we know it's not a choice, and we can't make it. Norwegians in the asylum reception were so friendly and wanted to know more about us, about our culture, our food, and so on. Walls started to grow taller around me in the asylum reception when I was offered a job in an international NGO that is based in Oslo, and my request for a work permit was rejected. After 22 months passed away, we didn't get any answer for our asylum application. It wasn't easy to wait. I always had this feeling that my life is on hold. We lack paper. This is all what we lack, which is the main reason why we decided to seek protection in Norway. Then, first rejection came from UDI, asking us to appeal without defining a destination that we can go back to. UNANANDA answered us also with a negative answer, asking us to go back to the United Arab Emirates. I saw cases in the asylum reception where people got rejected the first time, and then they reverted their rejection into a positive the second time. But when we were rejected from UNA, we knew that the road was not going to be any easier, and I started to lose hope. I'm not allowed to work. I'm not allowed to study, because simply I'm not allowed to open a bank account that I can deposit the amount of money required for a foreign student to start studying in Norway. I knew my life stopped right there. Someone had pushed the pause button and forgot to start my life again. Left the room, switched off the lights, left us in the dark in one bedroom with a small kitchenette and a bathroom, and very little amount of money every 2 weeks to stock our fridge with. Knowing we were not able to determine what tomorrow is hiding for us. Life became a collection of insomnia, nightmares, and strong negative feelings, toward everything. Until the Palestinians decided to sleep in the streets in the Palestinianleir to show the government what a great mistake they were doing by treating refugees like this, especially us Palestinians, who have been refugees for generations. And we feel it's time for us to rest. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to them because through them, I was able to meet many brave, proactive Norwegians who refused their government practices against refugees and against undocumented, and want to make a difference. Every day I meet a new face, I know our number is growing, and we are able to pass our message to more people. In most cases, they were not reacting because they were not aware of the situation and the reality of the undocumented. Thank you.
Okay, oops. Dana, are you ready for more questions? Okay.
I think we will ask later.
Yeah. Well. Here. I got this text from Dana some days ago, and I thought that I really would like to just ask some very, very few questions before we move on. I won't do this all the time, I promise, but just this first time. Because I wondered, for exactly how long have you been staying in asylum center?
Since I arrived to Norway, almost 3 years and 4 months.
3 years and 4 months. Okay. And could you describe your room?
Actually, now we are staying in a new place, but for 3 years we used to live in one bedroom with 3 beds in it, where we had to receive guests, eat, and practice our daily life, all in this room, and small kitchenette and a bathroom.
And how many people were living in that room?
3 people.
3 beds.
Me, my mother, and my sister.
Yeah. Okay. And in the asylum center where you live, how many people are living there?
At the maximum, we were 120 people. It has the capacity of receiving 120 people. And now it ranges because the asylum seeker numbers went down. So they had to shut down many asylum centers. Therefore, the amount of people in our asylum center is less. It's between 80 and 70 now, because after all, it's not designed to be a permanent place to stay in. You can stay in until you get your answer, which is, according to the Minister of Justice, is supposed to be only a couple of months or like maximum 9 months or so, which is not the case in reality.
Yeah, because how long do people stay?
I stayed for 22 months, almost 2 years.
Yeah, and the other people living at the asylum center with you?
Some of them get, when they are from certain areas, the negative answer is like all what you get, like Chechen and Uzbekistan and these places. They get their answer within 4 to 6 months. And it takes longer for people from Somalia, from Palestine, and the people who need to process their case longer, or maybe they are counting on them giving up and leave. I don't know.
Yeah. How would you describe the everyday life at the asylum center?
Empty.
Yeah.
You have nothing to do. They try to come up with activities for the asylum seekers to do, but it's not, the winter is like so long in Norway, and not much to be done at the outdoors during winter. And usually people keep it to themselves. They either sit on their computers and using the internet to communicate with the outside world, or they just keep it to themselves in their rooms. At least this is my life there.
Yeah. Thanks, Dana.